Today it is my pleasure to be in the presence of the co-founder of the Conscious Evolution, and she's a speaker, author, educator of Conscious Evolution. Her name is Marx Hubbard, and we're going to have a treat to hear about Barbara's wisdom and her teaching. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to go right to the subject. I am here because me and a lot of people are concerned of the world, actually the system and what's happening in the world, and we want to be part of the solution. So what do you think are the main issues in the world, and what could be some of the solutions?
Well, I have a poetic metaphor for the whole thing.
Okay.
Our crisis is a birth of a more universal, co-creative humanity.
I love it.
The crises are very dangerous, but they're natural.
Okay.
In the sense that we're an intelligent species, we started to populate. We didn't know we had a population problem or pollution until about 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
We start to hit a limit to growth of population, of pollution, and self-centered consciousness with this degree of technological power. We have 6.5 billion people. We have used up most of our fossil fuels. We have got pollution in our seas and in our air and in our forests. You're not going to fix that, and then unless civilization completely collapses with horrible suffering. Nobody wants that.
Nope.
Therefore, folks, we're going forward. And I've coined another phrase. I love to make up words. You know, the word telos means end result.
Okay.
And eros is love, but juicy love.
Yes. Yes.
Like Cupid's arrows. He shoots an arrow and gets into your heart, the eros.
Okay.
So I've coined a new word, teleros. It's you're really in love with higher purpose. And you get the arrow of teleros, goes into your particular heart, and then you get juicily turned on to do something noble, great, new. And instead of sitting there, I'm afraid, I don't want to change, you're going like this. You know why? Because your creativity is coming out. And then you get to be self-rewarded. You get to be enjoying yourself. So I think the key here to suprasex is identifying your creative essence with a compass of joy. And the compass is like guided internally toward what gives you the greatest pleasure to give, to create, to express. It's not just altruistic, it's self-actualizing. And then you meet others that turn you on, and nature is accelerating your enthusiasm, your creativity, and your pleasure in life. And if one does not do that, you can see people are depressed, alienated, addicted, diseased, and violent.
Yes.
If you don't do this, you get sick.
Actually, David Wolf was saying there's not such thing as addiction. It's a byproduct to not being in alignment with your purpose.
That's it.
And I was very...
Who said that?
David Wolf.
David Wolf, yeah.
Interviewing.
Yeah, this is it. And life purpose is a creative impulse. And it's actually really a very sophisticated thing because it's unique to each person. And what I think the greatest gift that I was given in my entire life, along with my 5 children and all the people I love, is that somehow I found a life purpose. I call it a vocation of destiny. It's more than a project.
Of course.
It's a sense that somehow this is what you're born for, and whatever it is you're doing unfolds into the next. So you can't say, well, now I've finished that. I have no more purpose. Then what? Well, you would fade away.
it's going to take people to really embrace some, not just physical changes, but mental reconstruct, because some people are so still, and I have been myself, well, I do feel my job is not in alignment with my purpose, but I need to pay the bills, so I can't quit. And then if I do, and I may have tried for 3 or 6 months to leave my passion, but then I didn't have enough money, I had to go back to work. So there's this vicious circle, and a lot of people are trying and then quitting on this beautiful vision that you're describing.
It's really, really true. And we are actually in transition. And we don't yet have the new systems. For example, like free currencies. We don't have a new monetary system. So you have to buy a camera, or you need to have a car. So we're caught. Not caught. We're forced.
Like a dead end.
We're forced, and here's what I think we're forced toward, is co-creative entrepreneurship. Partnering to create more resources by co-creating, rather than going into, I'm hiring this one and that one. And so you need some hard money still.
Yes.
But instead of having to hire everybody, over and beyond the very basic needs you have to pay for, you co-create and you share your creativity with my creativity. So you did not have to pay me to do this. The reason is, it's part of my joy to give it. Now, I have to pay the rent on this house. I have a foundation. If I don't raise a certain amount of money, I can't keep these doors open. However, the way that money tends to come in is by people wanting to partner, rather than old-fashioned philanthropy.
It comes down to the whole. How did you say before? The whole is.
The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Synergy.
Right. So
social synergy is different than totalitarian. And I wanted to go back to that point, because order can be totalitarian enforced order, like communism was, fascism, Nazism, horrible. Cults of all kinds. There's a lot of that. All right, so then there is just what we have basically is competition and individualism. That's gone to a limit now. And we've seen totalitarianism. We don't want it. We've seen over-individualism and competing of different parts, killing the environment, having lives that are not enjoyable, just living in cities that people don't want to live in. So what's happening is it doesn't satisfy, and it's not sustainable.
Right.
Therefore, people are being pressed towards synergy to survive.